Guys, it's Lindsay. It's been a long time since I've done any kind of video of any kind just because it's been a crazy summer. I've not really been feeling myself, but today I'm going to make a YouTube video about Pinktober. So I figured I needed to do my makeup and get myself a little bit jazzed up for the day. So I wanted to show you guys some stuff I got. The Norvina palette. So it has some gorgeous colors on here that I'm going to be using on my eyes. And I also have this Bobbi palette, which is pretty awesome. Has great colors in here for eye. And then you can basically just kind of flip your little mirror over here. And then you have blush, bronzer, and highlighter all in one. So it's kind of great for my kit. To have everything, or just even if you travel, whatever, kind of everything all in one here. I've already prepped my face with my eye cream and my moisturizer, but right now I'm going to do my favorite shadow base, which is Smashbox 24. I'm going to put that on the lid all over from lash to brow. I always do this one because I like it. It doesn't have any color to it, so it's really nice because you can just use your fingertip to blend all over. And because it doesn't have any color, doesn't mess with anything, it's really nice feel to it. And I just use my fingertips to blend it in. So, while with that one, I usually actually put that on first because it does take a few minutes for it to dry. So usually I'll do that, then I'll do my eye cream, and then I'll do my moisturizer, but I didn't want to put you guys through all that. So did that, and then now I'm going to do this MAC strobe cream. I love this because it gives a nice little like highlighting, deflective look on your cheek without being like super shimmery. And as you can see, I was out in the sun a lot this summer, so I've got lots of freckles, which I really don't mind my freckles. But just makes me feel kind of like I look like a little girl. But I take the strobe cream, warm it up in my hands a little bit, and just kind of lightly press it into your cheek area. I'm gonna bring a little bit here, probably go a little bit too much, but you know, it's Instagram, so pretty much everybody on here has too much highlighter. And I just always keep like a towel or rag or something to kind of wipe my hands off after I finish doing my makeup. So my 24 Smashbox should be pretty dry by now. So I'm going to take this white color here in the Bobbi palette. It's Ivory. And I'm basically just going to kind of put it all over from lash to brow. And I kind of just keep the same brush that I use all over. It's white, so I know that it's the one that I'm going to use for my light color from all over my lash line. And I just use it to set my shadow base. And you'll see a lot of people on Instagram, they always do their concealer foundation first. I don't know how they do that. Just from trial and error for the past few years, I always do my eyes first. That way if anything goes flakes down, I can just go back and clean it up, especially when you have so much makeup on, like you got to clean up your fallout and you've got to redo your concealer and your foundation. So to me, it just makes better sense to do it all over my eyes first and then follow up. But when you don't have any face makeup on, it does kind of make it look like you've got like a lot of makeup on. So now I'm going to do the palette here. I think I'm going to do, I really like this, I think it's volatile. It's kind of like a grayish color here. I'm going to do that all over my lid. And for that, I'm going to use this, it's a Smashbox brush I got, but I like it because it's just, has a little bit of fluff to it, but it's not too big. And you can get a good amount of pigment kind of right there on your, and I'm going to put this kind of right on my lash line and kind of up into my crease a little bit. So you can see I'm like super messy with my application because I don't care if I have fallout. So that's a lot of color right there. This definitely has a lot of pigment. So and it probably will look a lot better if I could actually see in the mirror what I'm doing and not try and look at my phone for you guys. But so I'm just kind of putting it all over here. Definitely has fantastic pigment. So this eye is a little bit wonky here, went out a little bit too far, but we're going to clean it up so it doesn't really matter. Next, I'm going to use a blender brush here. This is an old school Chanel brush. They don't make it anymore, and I'm super sad because I really love this brush. I think I'm going to do The color next to it called Love. It's like a pink. Let's see how this looks. Ooh, that's got a lot of pigment too. So bringing it up kind of high. That to me looks, whoa, a lot of color there, guys. But for a fall look, you can get away with it. I feel like we're seeing color up higher and higher now. So definitely a fall eye here. All right, and I'm going to go back with my all over brush here. I'm going to use a little bit of this white color here called Base and kind of put it under my brow. Tone down that pink a little bit. Can you guys hear my dog? She's like right outside my bathroom door, like licking her paws. She wants to be in here. Okay, so definitely tone down the pink a little bit. I'm going to take, I kind of like this rose gold color here in the middle with my finger. Sorry to be shooting your bird, but I feel like these are so rich that you can't really do a brush. So I'm just going to kind of press in here to the lid to kind of give that some sparkle. It's really pretty. So see what I'm talking about, like all the fallout here. If you already had your concealer on, like that would be everywhere. So very pretty. And I kind of wonder, like, am I too old to be wearing this? Like, are 40-year-olds allowed to have on with a sparkle in their lid? Sure, because I get asked that a lot. Like, people are like, oh, am I allowed to wear, you know, sparkle at a certain age? You can wear whatever you want. There's no rules anymore. I feel like it's kind of like do whatever you want to do. So I feel like that's kind of it for this palette right now. I'm going to grab my Bobbi palette and do this dark color here in the corner. I think it's Espresso. So I'm going to grab that. And I'm just going to bring a little bit. I'm using this small brush from MAC. It's 228. I like this for my outer corner and for my lash line because it's really small, so you can kind of get right up in there. And I'm going to just kind of do a little bit here on the outer corner and blend in. I feel like I should have some music or something. Sorry, guys. And I really should probably be looking here, but I can't see what I'm doing from people's comments. So I'm just kind of taking that espresso again on the outer corner and doing a little bit here. So try and make sure it's a little even on both sides. And now I'm going to go back with my blender brush again. And I'm going to take, I kind of like this color right here in the Bobbi palette. I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm going to kind of go right here. Just kind of soften up that pink right there in the inner corner just to kind of make my eyes look a little bit brighter. And I'm sure for you guys it looks a little bit wonky over there, but it's actually kind of pretty in real life. So I love with all the purples and plums and pinks for the fall. I think it's gonna be a really pretty season. Okay, so now that I've made a complete mess under my eye, that was one thing I did forget to grab was my Q-tips, but thank goodness I keep those in the top drawer here in my bathroom. And I'm gonna grab 2 of them while I'm at it. I usually use either eye cream or a little bit of eye makeup remover that doesn't have any oil to it, because a lot of times if your eye makeup remover has oil, you get a slip. So I just kind of go right underneath with my, there. And then with the opposite side that's dry, go back and clean that up. And you can even bring it over here to kind of lift away hair color that you have everywhere. So already it looks 10 times better. And other side. This side's more of a mess for sure. definitely the Anastasia palette is nice. It has a lot of pigment. So if you're thinking about getting it, it was crazy when I went into Ulta, they had the security little things on those. I guess it's a hot commodity there. So they don't want anybody taking them. So lots of people do their makeup different ways. After I do my eyes, I always do my concealer. That's just how I've always done it. Some people are different that way, but that's just me. Today I'm going to use my, out of my NARS, which I really love, so I'm going to use my Bobbi concealer in Sand. It's really creamy, gives some great coverage. I'm using a kind of thicker synthetic brush, so I like to do just a little bit of color underneath here, and then go back up right into my lash line and get it really good on your inner corner there, and then kind of bring it out. I probably needed a little bit of a pinkier tone to put underneath, but you know, it is what it is. Looks a little bit yellow, but I felt like the ivory was too light today. So bringing that up, and you could kind of bring a little bit in here if you want to, just to kind of smooth out all your red if you're like me and have pink or red skin. Okay, now I'm going to go back with my ring finger because it has the least amount of pressure, and just kind of lightly pat it in. Has a you can get it right in there, so I don't have lashes, so that I can get up into my eye area without stabbing myself. And you can see my swollen little chubby fingers from my lymphedema, but you know, it is what it is. So after that, I usually go back with my foundation. Today I'm going to use my tried and true Double Wear Lauder. I love it. It gives full coverage. It lasts all day. The only bad thing is it really is not that photo friendly. So I know to mix stuff with it, like the strobe helps, and doing like different bronzers and stuff, and making sure my face is moisturized enough. And I'm bad. I'm going to use my fingers. I'm not going to use a brush, but I just kind of lightly place it all over and then blend. And you don't need to do all the crazy drips on your face or use 10,000 sponges or brushes. Your fingers are actually great tools to blend that product in. So here we go. And get right up into my hairline. I personally am not a big powder fan just because I have the drier skin, so I'm not one to use powder to set with. Sometimes obviously here in the humidity in southern Georgia I need it, but for the most part I don't really use a powder to set my skin. But if I do use powder, I love It Cosmetics, has a really great setting powder. Their Bye Bye Pores is really nice. So now I'm going to do my brows. Mine are horrible after chemo. They're just kind of non-existent, as you can see. They're very, like, I'm bald here, and then nothing really grows over here. And then on this side, same thing, I've got like some bald spots right here. So drawing them on is a bit challenging. Right now I have the MAC Fling. They actually just changed their packaging on their brushes, and or not brushes, but their brows, and I'm really kind of sad because I'm not a fan. I feel like this is different than it used to be, and I feel like I'm going through it quicker than it did, so that kind of makes me sad. But your brow, you just kind of, I do little soft strokes to the side. If you're like me and just want a quick, simple brow and not all the crazy Instagram brow, I need to look in the mirror a little closer. Sorry guys. I'm just going to do some soft light strokes and bring it to the side. And your brow should always start here and should always end here. So I'm just bringing a little bit here. And you can give it a little bit of definition, but you don't have to get crazy with it. And then you can go back with your spoolie and just kind of brush through it. So as you can see, that looks a lot better than the other side. I'm going to do this one real quick. Little soft strokes. If you're drawing it straight on, then kind of you get like those defined lines, which is kind of hard to blend out. So just gonna do here. And over to the side a little bit so you guys can see. I'm not sure if y'all can see, I'm having a lovely hot flash. You see my lovely glistening forehead here, so that's always fun. So that's that. I'm going to brush it out a little bit. When I had more brows, I followed up every day with a brow gel. I definitely feel like that helps hold your brows in place, but I just buy like a little clear one that doesn't have any color to it to set. And next I'm going to move over to my blush. I'm going to use the blush here that's in the Bobbi palette. I think it's called Nectar. And just always smile and apple my cheeks and blend down and back. Just get a little bit of color in my brush. My husband hates the smile when I do it, but I feel like, geez. So just a little bit down and back. And starting at your apple and kind of blending up gives you that just like ran on the treadmill for 15 minutes look, which I obviously did not do today. Next I'm going to follow up with my bronzer. I'm going to use the medium bronzer that comes in this Bobbi kit. So with this is an old school flat brush. I just kind of do like 1, 2, 3. And then I take a little bit, kind of pop it on my hand here, and then just do a little bit on my forehead, down your nose, and then with whatever's left, I take it to my chin and bring down. So not super bronzed, but definitely gives me a little bit better of a look there. I just kind of, with whatever's left, just kind of blend it out. So if you like highlighter, you can do a highlighter. I'm going to do a little bit of this Bobbi palette here that I have. And I'm going to use my fan brush here that I have. And I'm going to take a little bit of this peachy color here. Just kind of do on my cheeks and back here. You can do there if you want to. Okay, and now I'm going to go with a little bit of eyeliner. I have two colors I'm trying to decide between. I think I'm going to do the black. I could possibly do the purple just to give it a little bit of something extra, but I'm probably going to just stick with my black shimmer from Chanel. It's my fave. Pretty much use that one like 24/7. It's my fave. My philosophy is where there's a lash, there's a line. Don't stop halfway. If you want a softer line, you could lift up under your lash line and kind of do underneath the lashes, or you could draw on top. Either way. I also like a more dramatic eye, so I do it in my waterline in the bottom. Some people don't suggest that, but that's just kind of how I've always done it. I'm going to stand up a little bit here so I can kind of see better. So, which I probably should have stood up this whole time, but I'm going to do right here in my lashes. And I always tell people don't do just the bottom because it kind of just throws your eye off balance. Do top and bottom or just the top. Okay, so no, you're not supposed to pull your eye, but I'm just going to do a tiny little bit right here. Just kind of hold it and get right into that lash line. As you can see, my lashes are kind of sparse after chemo, but so that just kind of gives it definitely a more dramatic look. To this side. So I'm gonna look in the mirror a little bit closer because I can't really see here, but so looks pretty good. Definitely has a lot of pigment. There, with the glittery ones for the Anastasia, I definitely would use your finger to apply those. It does come with a little brush, but they have a lot of pigment to them. So I would just kind of warm your finger up and just kind of lightly press into that area to build them up. And then I'm not going to do lashes because I'm not that crazy. it's just a Wednesday and my kids will be home from school in a little bit. My favorite mascara right now is MAC Cotton Naughty. I like it because it has two different ways. You can just pull this first part out here, and if you want length, this bristle here gives you length, and then you I do usually a layer or two of that way, and then you can open the bigger part here. It's two parts, and pull this out, and this one gives you thickness, so it just makes it a little bit thicker there. I used to wear a couple different mascaras, but I like this because it's the 2-in-1 and it kind of gives me the best length and volume for myself right now. But I know mascara is such a personal thing, so there's totally a ton of great options out there. I always put my mascara on looking down, that way I can get up into the root and pull the lash. If you're looking like this straight ahead, then that's where you get a lot of that black on your lid. So my advice is to kind of just look down and get right into those lashes. If you like a lash primer, you can do that. I just don't have one because I never really needed one before, but now because my lashes are so horrible after chemo, I think I might try one again. So with that, it's just a light lash, nothing crazy or heavy, but I do like mine a little bit thicker, so that's when I go back for my second round and do that. So to me, mascara just makes all the difference with your eyes. Just opens the eyes and makes them pop. So you can definitely see the difference with using mascara versus no mascara, especially because mine are more blonde too. So I won't bore you guys with doing the other side. I'm lazy and usually don't line my lips, but I do like this new Bobbi. It's Neutral Rose. It's a little luxe lipstick. It's a little mini I got from Nordstrom. I'm just going to kind of add that here. I have some chapstick on already, so just a soft little look. And that is my look for fall. If you wanted to add a little more blush, obviously I'm blonde, so I don't really feel like I need a whole lot of color, but I love like a deeper plum blush for darker hair for the fall. So that's my quick fall look for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for my YouTube video that I'm going to make later today. Have a great day. Thanks. Ah.